You are watching Liberty Online TV.
This is Liberty Online TV powered by Orange Sierra Leone.
Orange.
Watching Liberty Breakfast Show on Liberty Online TV.
This and other story them then at the program for you this Thursday morning. As you all know, disaster them done they happen at the country for a very long time now, and this BNTM we see Usai building them done they collapse in a different community them inside Freetown. Government and other organization them done they put different response mechanism in them. The recent one at the Kisi Shell Usai 3.7-story building being collapsed and people have been trapped under dirty for over 4 to 5 days before they be able to pull some being come out there alive and some be lost their life there, including small picking them. Waiting at the response where government put in place. If it work or it not work, government being respond quick, we make the people then die. All of this we will discuss inside the program this morning, as several times when disaster then can happen, government can put the response mechanism then, and after that everybody can move on. No, they even discuss some of the issues there again. But as a media institution, we get responsibility for keep the conversation alive so that the authority them we responsible will continue for put response there in place. We go work, especially how fast they can respond to the disaster there, so we might prevent life them not for loss. Now the conversation that they get in the studio this morning, and the people away where they can talk to now civil society organization them, because one forget independent views them for analyze some of them disaster there, so we can happen in the country. Well, at the studio this morning, we get Amara Salam Kanu, Executive Director, Environmental Forum for Action. Good morning, Mr. Kanu, and welcome to the Breakfast Show.
Good morning, and thanks for having me here this morning.
All right, and also we get David Joseph Aliyu, Executive Director, Civil Society Advocacy Network on Climate Change and the Environment, we then can call CAN SL. Good morning, Mr. Aliyu.
Good morning, my sister. Sierra-Leoneans, good morning.
All right, now with 2 studio guests and then they will get this morning, or they can look at response mechanism, if it's fast or it's slow. Normally, with disaster then can happen, especially turning like this, we can't see them at the wall, especially Salon say then the fight against climate change and other natural disaster them. Continue for the with we at the studio.
And don't forget to drop your comments to the comment section, and also send me a message on 074-200-545 and make your inputs at the program. The program we still watch now, the Liberty Breakfast Show, they come to you live on Liberty Online Television, now Facebook page, YouTube, and all the other social media handles them where they get we from. Of course, inside the program, quickly we will take with first material, now the program, then we will continue with the rest of the discussion inside the studio. The chief pharmacist and director for the pharmaceutical service, Dr. Moses Betsima, don't say a salon they join other country them for celebrate World Pharmacist Day. Then go use this day for improve and promote public health na salon. Dr. Moses talk this way, if they talk about the importance of the World Pharmacist Day celebration, when on Wednesday, September 25, and the theme for this year, na pharmacist meeting global health need. Dr. Moses talk more to Alassane Kouma inside this interview.
The major problem they hold in the country right now, or around the world, not just one country, people then they use antibiotics too much. One of the things that we pharmacists they also they try for do now for reduce on the way where people then they misuse antibiotics or the way where then they use them. We want them use them in a way where appropriate so that it will able to take care of the infection where they prescribe them for. So also they not only for make sure say that they happen now with institution there, but also they for educate the public for make sure say people they not just grab and take tetracycline or amoxicillin anyhow where they want for take them. But pharmacists they also they play a significant role in the public health care generally, whether not for give vaccine, whether not for contributes to emergency preparedness and response. We're supposed to play a significant part in that role. But we also know say now with communities there we get what we call outlets when are community pharmacies. Pharmacists then are the healthcare custodians then are then setting in there. Then they for able to provide medication management services then to patients where you can inside with your sickness, we were able to talk to you and tell you say maybe you need for go to hospital or maybe not this medicine you need or maybe you come with a prescription of pharmacy. We will tell you say now this the doctor don't mark for you. The doctor say make you take on this way 2 times per day or 3 times per day or take on a morning or take on 1 time per week as the case may be. So we get both in the way they do, all geared towards making sure that we meet the big challenge them where they in healthcare and the world. Quite honestly, just like any other sector now society, pharmacy get their own challenges them where they deal with. And one of the challenges they deal with, I can divide that into two. One, now the formal setting, then at the pharmacy they give license for open. The second one, now the informal setting. The one they will not give license at all. If you say then a doctor or then a pharmacist and then they sell medicine anyhow when they want for seller. So I agree there are challenges. But also we get in the way they do for try for curb them challenges there. Through a regulatory institution, the Pharmacy Board of Sierra Leone, we will try for see how we're able to regulate the practice very well. Nobody not supposed to open pharmacy or outlets where they sell medicine to the public without don't go through all the processes them in the pharmacy board. Technically speaking, every outlet we open where they call pharmacy or drugstore is supposed to get a professional where they do. We obviously are aware, say in cases you can go to outlets, get a professional where they do, we go able to provide the professional advice where the public need. This is now one of the challenges that we, as a profession, we try for deal with. And we also they try for also talk to the public for me to help we for able to solve some of them challenges there. If you go to a pharmacy where you not get the professional we're supposed for day for serve you, I think say you get the option for go other side we get a professional because you get right for deal with somebody who don't train in the use of drugs for advise you on how then they use them drug then they. You also get the option for able help with a pharmacy board by calling us or by even making a complaint to us if you go to a pharmacy where they not get a pharmacist or where they not get a pharmacy technician. So all of them and I think them way they try every single day for fight. We even understand say people then they even sell medicine inside put them. It's a major problem. But we're not going to fight this challenge on our own. We want to take the opportunity of World Pharmacist Day for tell the public say, una do your help with for fight this. If somebody they sell medicine on street, you not get right for buy them because number one, not all the right thing then they do. Number two, the medicine and if you buy them, there is a potential that you take medicine we not even get for work. we're not good, or we might even cause problem for you. So we all get a role for play. Pharmacists, pharmacy technicians, healthcare providers generally, but even members of the public, for make sure say they help we for try for really perform we role very well and make sure say people then when they use drugs, then they get the most benefit from them drug then. As far as we concerned as a profession, we want to celebrate we self. We want to celebrate the things the world they do for able to create the requisite impact as far as the health of patient then concerned in the country. But we also want the public to recognize, say, there is an important set of healthcare professionals in their own right when I experts them per medicines. We want the public not hesitate for access the services of the healthcare provider there because then get value when they add to their healthcare. So we will celebrate this day. We go there all over the media for educate the public, basically for let the public know what thing we capable of doing as far as the healthcare concerned. But we go also showcase some of the things the world they do for improve the space. We are aware of say challenges then we'll continue for day, but we want the public for continue for support we as we take a rightful place in the healthcare delivery space in this country.
So what will be the message to the public and family to watch you?
So people, me Salon Fambu there, I just want to make una know say pharmacists and pharmacy technicians now healthcare providers in their own right. Then they role where they play. By virtue of their training and their expertise, then are the experts on medicines. We got several institutions them where they run at this country where they for provide pharmacy services. We got Pharmacy Board of Sierra Leone, we got the National Medical Supplies Agency where then are they responsible for buy, warehouse, and distribute medicines them for everybody within the public sector. We get even the pharmacists the way they work in the private sector. They were all now an excellent group of healthcare professionals then where they for serve we needs as far as medicines and medicine use concerned.
Welcome back from that clip we just watched. Again, for do with the pharmacy board as then serve they join the rest of the world for celebrate the World Pharmacist Day, when be September 25. Well, continue for day between the program. The program we still watch now Liberty Breakfast Show where they come to you live on Liberty Online Television. Continue for drop your comments at the comment section and also drop your message on 074 200 545.
All right, we continue with the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online TV. We stream na Facebook, YouTube, and also na our website where they powered by Orange Sierra Leone. In case you just tune in, don't forget to share the program so that more people will join this very important conversation what they get this morning. Or they look at the delay them in terms of response from the state authority, them especially the one they were responsible for respond to different disaster them we can happen at the country. Then delay so we can happen don't make plenty people can lost their life them na various disaster they will happen. The recent disaster we happen na Freetown na the one we get for do with the 7-story building we collapse na Kisi na Shell Usai people they be lost their life. And then people here so where the building being collapsed. According to the information where we get now that the one that will be trapped under the dirty at some point they communicate with people them outside via mobile phone, they call for rescue. But because of the delay in the response, plenty people be lost their life them at this particular incident, and especially small picking them way being trapped inside this building, they have been lost their life them. So today we'll bring independent voice them in the studio for can discuss the response mechanism so far in the country, how it like now one way they work for people in the country, on a one we don't fail, we make plenty people lost their life them. We get two gentlemen they were introduced earlier. We get Amara Salam Kanu, we are executive director for Environmental Forum for Action, a civil society organization where they work around issues them we get for do the environment like the one we can discuss inside the studio this morning. But they start with you, Amara. Firstly, let we look at the incidents that will happen, especially inside this year rainy season. We don't see several buildings in the collapse. We don't bring experts them in the studio. We don't bring engineers in the studio. We don't bring people from Ministry of Lands when are they responsible for give building permits to people, especially in a Freetown. Waiting at the different assessments when they make before they give them building permits. There are areas they must have people they're not supposed for live, then they live there. A lot of efforts they don't put in place for pull people in the community there, but people then they go there again. Now we look at the Shell incident when at the recent or we use as a case study. Firstly, as an organization, how on assess the entire response from the authority then?
Well, thank you very much for this opportunity once more. But before I answer that question, we need to look at the current national circumstance as a country and how we're vulnerable to issues of climate shocks and projections, because all waiting with the experience so boils down on data. We're able to inform we in terms of a vulnerability index as a country. Before this time, assessment them be done, they come out from the IPCC AR5. We see we're not the third most vulnerable country in the whole world to the rising impact of the issues of climate change. The environmental performance index rank we 155 out of 183 countries. And we don't see disasters from 2015 when we get torrential rain will lead to the death of 8 people at that time. Then after 2015, 2017, we experienced the landslides, will lead to the death of 1,000 lives in just 6 hours of rains. And according to the World Bank assessment report, say we lost over $30 million in terms of the economic loss. The property that we destroyed, the houses and other things. But we still get challenges at that time for reaching to the quantification of the economic loss. Because we know the economic loss. Now, from that economic loss, they will prepare on a response mechanism in terms of how you're able to provide reliefs. But if you don't know the economic loss, in terms of where people are lost, then you're not going to do the proper planning. So the capacity at that time was really an issue. So unless World Bank get for step in for do that assessment, they count their kind of results. But you look at the return period, same from the World Bank assessment in 2017. Don't tell we see the return period don't change for a country like Sierra Leone. The projections be very more clear, saying that every 5 years we experience issues of disaster. But the return period don't change now for every 2 years. According to the assessment, an international firm would then call ARUP be due in 2017. Then the ACMAD report, again, the ACMAD, then this now the West Africa hydrometeorological services, where they look into countries within the Gulf of Guinea, ranging from Senegal down to Nigeria. For every year, we go then report to the issue out to them called the seasonal outlook, for tell you how the season get for look like. So the ACMAD report states are very clear, say they get well above normal of the amount of rainfall we will actually get. And these now issues will be done the raise over the years, because the report be issued in March. And the essence of this report now for make we able for prepare as country. Once this projection done there out, then we'll able for strengthen we mechanism for ensure say waiting at the kind of steps that we will need for take before we can deep down the period, because they categorize them from April, May, and out of June. We need to know to the peak time now. We'll go to call the jazz now the July, August, and September. We're at the peak time. Well, they expect to see forget that amount of rainfall. So the ACMAD report don't tell you about vulnerability status. But coming now to your question in terms of a response, all the assessments there don't tell you about vulnerability index. Or don't see the visible impact where climate change they actually cause in terms of unprecedented rainfall patterns. They tell for expect rains will not they get the rains. They tell for not for expect rains now they tell now they will for actually get the rains. And before we come deep down to the rains, we don't see high temperature increase. People then be doing the grumble during the dry sea. The place don't hot too much. And in science, it's very much clear when you experience issues of heat waves, high temperature, that they tell you about the evapotranspiration processes that would get high amount where they go in the atmosphere. So of course, when you go to the atmosphere, you just get for condensed back. So every year, if going forward now, if we experience high amount of temperature rise during the dries, that therefore send a signal to where they go to the rains. The amount of water where they go up down atmosphere, they therefore fall down. So the science very more clear. But in terms of response, we know they talk about the issues here. We have been very reactive rather than being proactive into issues of disaster response. Disaster response, not to that kind of fire brigade. They tell you happen, and they tell you the season, now people they make like they work. Nothing where they plan from the dries. Like when the ACMAD reports we don't come out, don't tell we say we they get well above normal of the amount of rainfall. Because if you look at 2 years back, with the record close to 2,500 millimeters of rain. But the kind of amount of rain we me and you experience this year, you know, it's projection don't really clear say it's even up to 5,000. And the rain still not hits back. And the projection where the ACMAD reports say back, we go for the experience massive thunder lightning when we go the month of October. So we still there within the period where we need for ensure so we strengthen response. So the reason why I make us still the emphasize on this issue, say we preparedness mechanism for being in equilibrium with actions.
You talking about the reports there, so Amara, bring the question to mind that institution they were responsible for respond to disaster then.
Yeah.
You think say with all of the analysis there and then projection there, with national and international organization, they only work around issues of the environment and climate change like Kona, don't they put forward?
Yes, sure.
Now material the way institution they were responsible for respond to disaster, don't really they pay attention to.
Well, now that's not your work for able for bring them issues here now their attention. Really not their responsibility. We just need for able for compliments then work. But not to me work now and they for ensure say I will bring the report and they for send and get it. Then they did because they fit for the job where they do. Right? So we issues of this response we have been trying to talk about because then go say they not get the financial resources. But it's hard time we'll go for what to call alternative financing. When we want for attack disaster issue, financing now a key tool we need for ensure say we not for only rely on the national budgets for make we response to issues of financing. In developing countries like Ghana, then get a national disaster fund. Now national disaster fund day for every petrol where you buy. You get certain amount of money where they go inside national fund. So you not get for wait again for main government get for same money or Ministry of Finance get for same money before you go response. So these are the kind of alternative financing we need for ensure see we for do as a country for law get a standalone fund. So we response go be swift, we response go be timely, and we go ensure so we able for attack the issue then. The other issues back way we need for ensure see we need for emphasize on is research. Most institutions they do research because if you look at the recent in terms of we hazard profile as a country, the profile be done in the past 6 years, and it's outdated. It need an emergency review because the profiling will able to tell you about emerging hotspots. So now you make this year we talk and say if government is not thinking of reviewing the hazard profile as a country, may we do what we call an assessment we get for do with identifying emerging hotspots. The emerging hotspot areas. Now we don't get new emerging hotspots. Even Shell was not a hazard area, but when they see now, then other outside and they don't become comfortable. So look at two aspects. Look at the geological aspect. We go for tell you about the stability of those rocks. Outside then the bill. You understand? Then we'll try to look at how climate change don't affect the other areas here. We come to a conclusion, say, because of the ongoing lateralization processes in terms of the rocks that don't weathered, you know for the bill houses them in areas which get loose swell conditions. So all that assessment area would do, but we need that national profiling, where we believe say the NDMA, that should be their responsibility for all get a review of that national profile in terms of the hazard areas, the emerging hotspot areas. Because now if you look at the Freetown complex, everywhere is vulnerable to the issues of climate shocks. If we continue what we call business as usual, then same kind of disaster that then for happen. Inside the same here, there was a landslide now. You understand? We landslide they will call. So there is projections say landslides then get for call in the next 5 to 10 years, and we get for calls massive disasters, and we get let's say for job to roll back. But on this child issue, from where we response was actually late, we know it will go there on time, and people then lost their lives not because by their own doing, but because we not try to get the right system, we're able to respond at a time for able to save their lives. So
is it safe for say the people that we lost their life na shell, na system failed?
Yeah, sure. Because if we get the requisite response mechanism, they will for them able to save their lives at a quicker time. We go at least solve a video situation. Because if you look at the issues where put a shell, they're not able for go there at the appropriate time. They're able to wait back 5 hours to the 6 hours before they're able to go that side. So this, because the reason why I make the stress on the issues of financing, then go tell you say they not get the resources, but that the responsibility back for able to find alternative financing. There is a lot of global financing windows from the JF, then GCF for able for right project for me and get. So they're not for the hard no more say pass government go give them money. Now the tenant don't ever get response. So and issues in terms of now we not even know the economic loss, because this is still the challenge that we have. Capacity is an issue within government institutions. It's hard time we try to put the people at the right place, or else we know we'll get the kind of results where we envisage as a country say at least if we get the right people there, the issues here no going to happen. Now we don't even know the economic loss, how many property that lost, how many because now then data there we will get now it will make you able for plan properly and able for response and give relief. Even
the amount of people we dying at the building, a lot of people they question the figure where NDMA don't they put out and the people that where them pull. You talk to people in the area, they still believe say people are still trapped under that doctrine. They're not pulled it off.
Well, I don't know what's that in standard operating procedures, because in the disaster response, your standard operating procedures. Now they only look at 10 days for me they're able for response to another area there. But in developed countries, your SOP for able for tell you for 1 month, your response mechanism not only they for go take the rubbles out, for even for make the environment safe, for identify other areas that also when a hazard prone. You don't understand. Not for only go take the rubbles out. So me I not go talk on that because then get their own standard operating procedures or how did they do issues of response. But what me they still the stress on that we still get lapses, we still get gaps as a country we will need for look at when if we want to get a proactive actions in terms of preventing the issues here not happening. Now on the issues of building codes, we not still, although there is consultation going on now on the formulation of the new building codes, but from 1967, we not even get a new building code where for able to tell you about the recent kind of technology that people then go use when done the build. Not only on the engineering aspect, but also on the geological aspect for inform you. Either if the environment is suitable for me, build a place, or a loose coastal condition, then analysis that all need for be done. So we need, now I make it still emphasize here, the national hazard profile, outdated, or get in 2017, need for be review. It's an emergency call where the traffic call on the enemy or the enemy. We need to review the hazard profile, because if we're able to review the hazard profile, they will go to identify hotspot areas there. Now, if you look at regions, they're all on hotspots, right? So we will not still continue for the suicide people that they lost their lives. then properties, then at the end of the day, we respond mechanism as a country not able, they in equilibrium with actions.
All right, Tamara, we still look at the delay in terms of response. As somebody where you work there around climate change, how you don't assess NDMA? You feel they get the required equipment for always they respond to disaster in a very timely manner?
Well, now that make us still a stress on this issue. Say, if you ask them, they go tell you say they don't get resources. They get resources constraints.
Because one of the issues they can ask you this.
Yes.
To do with the delay say happen a shell. At some point, person they get for call for machine all the way from Marampama.
Not only shell. Now that make way I start. I give me analysis of what thing be done the happen. Not only shell. Moiba get a landslides. The response mechanism to us now landslide was very, 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 very much weak. We don't see flooding. Not only here. You go Bumbuna. They get flood. You go to Bont, they get flood. The response mechanism to then the issues of disaster is still a challenge that we face in this country. But I make at the state will tell you, we get capacity challenge, there is a gap. And we need to ensure say we speak towards data in anything they do and properly plan before the issues here they actually happen.
With all this experience and all the analysis we don't give, somebody they watch we now go and say if on a really key engage with NDMA for give them all the recommendation there, and if on a don't they do them, how them be don't they receive
you know see in the fight against I have been into this business for over 15 years. In the fight against climate change, it should be an holistic approach. No institution alone can solve it. I will tell you. In the civil society world, we get expatriate and we get vast experience. We know what then they actually do. You understand? But I'm not going to say coordination all day, but we need that kind of proactive coordination for ensure so we will bring everybody on board. Even the media then get the role. Advocate issue for credit for that kind of awareness. So if we don't get that kind of national platform, we say people go able do research, people go able look at data, people go able give them expertise, then we are not there yet to for ensure we're able for save lives and property. We need that kind of national platform where we will get the technical working group. Not technical working group, they look at the technicalities around. We'll get the financial group. The financial group, they look at alternative financing for able for mobilize resources. Now that make I tell you, say we'll get global financing windows. Many no can tell you, say, we not get resources now for that make we able for respond. No. There are global financing windows where you need technical expert there for right project, then they give you. You understand? Now you case number just for strong. Look at them programs, they develop programs, then they give. So we need to look at finding alternative financing for able for strength to respond. So we'll go for safe life going forward. But the projection is very, very more clear. See, from now to 2030, it's going to be worse for you because the return period as a country don't reduce to that of 5 years to 2 years. They will still get issues of predictability in terms of amount of rainfall. We still not get the requisite technology or instrumented for do projections in terms of forecast. It's still a challenge, right? Now we don't see where the international people they put reports that we don't call to report now they say they get a deficit. A deficit, if you look at the amount of rainfall we don't can this year, it is projected to even reach up to 5,000 millimeter. Although we also need the rain, because if you look at we are a rain-fed nation, and most of the people who are into their agriculture, they need the rain back for where they survive, because there is no irrigation scheme.
All right.
There's no irrigation schemes. So we also need the rain. Despite we get high amount of rainfall, but we also need for ensure so we harvest the rain, so we use that rain that they do in the dries.
Continue for the with the program. In case you just tune in, you watch the breakfast show where they come to you live from Liberty Online Television. Today we look at the delay in response from disaster management agency, especially 10 them where disaster care upon, and we use the Shell building collapse as a case study this morning because in the recent disaster where the country faced this BNTM, and we get between the studio civil society activists there because because one forget independent views them for see how the response can turn like if na the delay can make people where they caught up na then kind disaster they are so can die. And you just listen to Amara Salam Kano, when are the executive director for Environmental Forum for Action. Or they can now to David Joseph Aliu, where instead they with in the studio this morning in the executive director for CAN SL, a civil society organization for the work around the environment and climate change. Lord can to you, Mr. Aliu. We just don't listen to waiting Amara don't tell we because according to in belief say the mechanism they're not there in place and the delay for respond. Now that's been make a lot of people lost their life na the Shell disaster. From your organization point of view, how una don't they assess the response mechanism we camp and disaster them na salon?
Thank you very much for giving this opportunity as civil society. And CAN SL, as you rightly mentioned, a environmental and climate change institution, including health issues, we can advocate around and for ensure say we get a better health system. Yeah. How I go respond to your questions? Disaster management. How we able to avoid even disaster first? One, do we have the right mindset as citizens in this country? Do we get that thinking, say, problem can happen to we at any time? That is one. Do we have the right investment as a nation in terms of response? Thirdly, what is the governance structure in terms of response to disaster? And also, do we have data? Like my brother rightly mentioned, we get the accurate data in terms of how for response to disaster, within how prone are we as a country? Also, how inclusive is everyone? How will they bring everybody at the table for sit down, discuss this critical issue when a disaster? Are we targeting the right disaster issues? My brother, out of all those critical issues what I don't highlight, it's a big no, it's a challenge, it's a systemic issue, and also as citizens, our mindset is a critical issue. Do we adhere to policies, regulations, laws in this country? Is a big no. Yeah, because as Amara rightly mentioned, we have very good, beautiful laws in this country. Enforcement is critical. I know that my brother, Lago just go meet him, we beat the system, we go do what we want to do. It's a big critical problem to response in this country. And also, we have beautiful institutions. Thank God some of we, in 2014, they be classified as the third most vulnerable country. Like Amara mentioned, the IPCC report, the scientific wing of the UNFCCC in the world in terms of climate change, classified as the third vulnerable country. With the establishment of NDMA and Ministry of Environment, the National Protected Area Authority, we be feel say we don't begin to do well small. But it seems as if we are retrogressing with all those new institutions where for don't build with status. Yeah, that from that third vulnerable side, we for don't come up now to at least not for the within that category again of third vulnerable country behind Bangladesh and Guinea-Bissau. We know for them they behind there again. We for don't improve past Dundee, but unfortunately we they retrograde to the go behind in terms of response. How? I mentioned investment. Yeah, do we have the requisite equipment and mindset in this country? Password the gada. Well, we don't get data. Say this thing don't happen 2017. Motome don't happen. What do we find out about Motome?
Why institution them like NDMA they exist?
The reason why they exist now for ensure say they address them basic things here where they know they right now as we all don't discuss and listen to Amara in the earlier statement say they go say money no day. And what thing they do for let the money come? Because they establish their institutions here, one for help government. And government puts them leadership then they for let them ensure say they will search for resources even out of. Unfortunate for the part of the this year's budget discussion. Yeah, I'll be critically mind for ensure say I participate in all the ministries and agencies where they address climate change and environmental issues. I witnessed the Ministry of Environment and Climate Change budget presentation. I witnessed critical among I witnessed the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency, because this is the agency we established in this country. First, na been department under the Ministry of Transport and Aviation, but we all advocate for let it stand alone. For me, an agency. Thank God, if it don't come, it don't be an agency. How far are they going? Today, you go there, my brothers and sisters, in their budget presentation, what in they show and what in they want is so much that now we begin paying now back the Ministry of Finance. We now put more money for this thing, because all this what they do, response they deal with early warning. If you're able to detect, say, this go happen, like what Amma mentioned, then we don't class we in every 10 years we for expect a disaster. But now that they reduce to even 2 years.
Exactly.
Yeah. So how are we planning towards that?
Exactly.
In terms of early warning, before they get them planning, and they so then institutions here need money, need the capacity. How many staffs are there at the Sierra Leone Meteorological Agency that are on government? Then they train, then they go look for person, they identify na FBC, na the other institutions, then come, then send them, then go train. Money not there for pay them. If you are paying somebody here 4,000, then they are paying that same person in Liberia 15,000. To God, that man they resign. And they go Liberia. So they lost so much human resource in the country. We're also not a contributing factor, and even also how we they make the environment conducive for people for work is also a critical issue, and also ourselves as citizens is a big challenge.
When we talk about the focus, Mr. Aliyo,
yes,
because if all the institutions they are so, they lack the capacity, both human capacity and financial capacity, but a government institution, the way they set up for let they respond to disaster them. Like waiting be happen a shell. Where the disaster happen? Now family member of the one they were trapped under the dirty, even light not been there, even the crane government not get, they need for gather money for buy lights, they need for call private institution like Marampa Mines, gentle group of company na then come. And the disaster will happen during that day. If na country we get mechanism, in 2 hours if I don't save their life then they. Government really focus for prevent and manage disaster.
Earlier I mentioned say we are very good at writing policies and establish. How do we ensure that those institutions where we establish they are operationalized? It's another issue. So all what they discuss here is I say to avoid disaster, you should have the mindset. And what is this mindset? You always think ahead.
Exactly.
Think ahead. So alone, Freetown particular. Some of you did there because God don't say no can they. But for me, right now, if by myself, I want to come on a Freetown, because the entire Freetown now, me the class and say it's a rich city.
It's a rich city, sure.
Freetown is a rich city.
Sure.
Waste management is a challenge. Everything about this city is risks. Yeah. So as a government institution, we should have that mindset. We put document them together for look for very good private sector investors for come inside for ensure say what are the materials that we need for response. 2014 natural disaster come when Ebola. 2014-2016 Ebola come. A cattle on our foot. We begin dry. We send an emergency, but people die. We don't get 2015 back. Some people die. 2017 August 14 we'll get the motorman incident. We don't come out there. We not go. This is not Freetown no more. What about what is currently happening in the provinces? They're talking about Cambia. From up
Even
Makeni fine. There was a earth tremor will happen 30 days we will get that result. As society we don't raise concerns that because every different stories be the kind. Some people say they're not hearing, some people say they're hearing. Is it an earth tremor? Is it an earthquake? What really happened? As we are seated here, we have not got the right results yet of what really happened in Makeni. That alone a early warning signal that Makeni is a threat. Look at Kwedu City. What the type of mining system that is being done by that mining company, underground mining. except the early this year where civil society grab a serious issue that then go there for go even make sure say if the entire Kwedu city is not being mined and if it is not sitting on a time bomb that it will collapse one day. So these are all early warning signs. As citizens will get the right mindset for ensure say we put structures and systems in place for address them. But what is happening? We rely on donor partners. And these donor partners are saying, we are donor fatigue. We are donor fatigue.
True.
Money not there, we serve. We serve got your own problem. So as in developing countries, what are we doing? As we talk now, all man the UN, now the hunger. Everybody is there. They are presenting beautiful papers for the little resources that we come. Are we putting it to the right places? Corruption, then are we back? In the fight we, they go around we, in the tie we every day, from we to state to we here. Corruption, they fight we. How, how sincere are we as citizens to we safe? Because you don't know whether tomorrow go meet up. Look at UU building. From the time they build them, putting at the assessment,
maintenance.
Is it in the right status as it is now? It's a disaster.
It's a disaster prone area, yeah, sure.
Waiting, lift self. The FCC lifts now, it better pass the one way then are you building, where all the ministries in this country. The one way the FCC, it better pass the one way then are you building now. You go there Sunday today, they say they walk. You go 9th floor, you go work at you go 9th floor. It's a big disaster waiting in this country.
But again, the question don't they be say, una self as civil society, them don't look the balance on our work, because as a civil society working around the environmental issues, all of them things they are, Mr. Aliyu, you just don't tell people in this morning say the entire Freetown where they live so na risk who they take for live na Freetown. Look you building where they house over 10 government ministry. For more than bill until now, nobody no ever members say for do assessment, let them know the status of that particular building until another disaster happen. Where disaster then happen, they see agency they where they go visit, take pictures, make video. Some even they give money. When I don't they ask question about how their money they go as civil society organization.
I can at this podium for use this opportunity when they give me for like engage the duty bearers, citizens, for tell them say this na my own role as a civil society activist. I can talk, a holla, whatever, but I will not hold somebody and tie him because I do not have that mandate. My mandate is take the message to the people, engage them, tell them say na this for happen. If they're not doing, we will continue. We not go tire. I can't na this program because I want to talk about what thing happen na Shell. And not only Shell, there are other buildings that have collapsed this year.
Exactly.
Critical among all, the insurance system. What is the insurance system in this country? Then buildings here, then rigs here where they go, then get better insurance systems, then people who don't lost their life. Are they going to claim any insurance? That structure, the owner of that structure, if you don't insure that structure, the insurance system. Even the motor car they sit down, I make I say we then have Freetown. Now risks with the park. Even the motor car they sit down, the poda. This work I find where they don't count. May the Lord forbid it anybody something happen there. Insurance will come in for pay.
Sure.
All the disasters where don't happen in this country. One side them somebody don't tell we say it don't claim insurance. So now white elephants institutions that we get to, they are not working. So systemic problem in this country until we all come together. The system na circle. It not the ending. It a roll. It a roll continuously. Because we addressing climate change, health, disaster, these are intertwined issues. You don't go to address one, you left the other one behind. And it should be a continuous engagement. You don't go say, I don't do this, I stop. From moment to moment incidents happen, then pay some people, then not pay some people. Some people relocate, then go get their land, then go there, the amenity is not available, then sell the place and come it back. We all can sit down and Freetown. Yeah? Because when you say this na disaster prone some side, let this person commodity. Where did they go? That school where in Peking they go, the kind school they and that side they transfer, they get market today, they get site for go buy their meat, they get electricity, they get health facilities, all this for them. When they transfer somebody on any side in terms of disaster, relocation, are they there? No, if they are not there, it's a challenge. This place, we don't see countries, why they say we mindset, we leaders, we institutional heads, every day then they go conferences. Then they say how the white people they develop, even swamp. Then they turn aside and build something there where they make the habit. The Koreans will build this FCC. They tell you, say they have buildings that are taller than this. We all get, then they even do farming there. Then they even do farming, vegetable gardenings. But then get the system and then get the right mindset and investment where then they do. Then get the data, the governance structure is well in place. Everybody is brought on board. And when they say that this, then they address them for true. Right. My brother will lastly mentioned about research. And that is what is really lacking in this country. And even we self as society, now we big challenge than the research. We not get, with the research, the whole institutions will say we get now this country. Now for all get money today, we sit down. Is it our real calling? And are we taking the right research document to the duty bearers? It's a big challenge for us.
All right, Mr. Aliyu, mostly if you talk to them government officials, like you say, CSOs them, una can just condemn, but una not can make recommendation from una organization with all anything that we just don't mention. Una don't ever make recommendation in a written form, can una NDMA, and what's not the level of compliance with una recommendations?
In fact, me, NDMA, I have never engaged them.
Why?
The reason why is, you get money, where they talk big, now you then they listen to. Yeah? We get institutions where we can target. EPA, Ministry of Environment, NPAA, these are my focus institutions because these are the three key. NDMA just can't before yesterday, now so me go call and day before yesterday, out of our recommendations. Yeah. Out of our recommendations, EPA now under the Office of the President, EBD. Now, out of our recommendation, we say, let's get a standalone ministry. Because the executive chairperson always where that they go on global meetings, we don't get minister. Now, other minister, they can inside support the EPA executive chairperson, they go. So now we don't advocate, we don't get a climate change ministry. So now then we engage with information and data that for ensure say this and this and this and all two don't talk here so and then at the table even this year I tell you say where are they go when they do budget here because now their government allocation they go and then they make sure say then disperse the money then they back now the other trouble then go tell you say they need 300 million new loans this year now 50,000 go come for the whole year disbursement allocation now two different things approval. Now another thing, they go approve, say they don't approve 500 million for you, new loans. For the year round, something allocation and late disbursements go come. Now inside second quarter of 2024, you go get your first disbursement. And if now 20 million they forgive you, now 5 million go come. Of those activities where you don't outline, say this and this and this. So now make us say it's a chain issue, our problem in this country. But we, as they talk here, so they are watching, and some are listening. Yeah. So then they get to they say, and some of you get fortunate for sit down with the authorities, tell the issues to them, not only on paper, because we write on paper, somebody to go to where we can record them, we can sit down before them face to face. Even when they do the budget hearing this year, some of you ask them critical questions. Where they say, this money where they beg for, if they give you, what you go do it? Because we know this and this and this for happen. It not happen. You want to ask the Minister of Finance not give this money from this year to this year? Big problem also reporting. Even with donor partners, they cry against some of the institutions here because of reporting.
Exactly.
Then they go take project money, then give them. But the reporting mechanism is another big problem in this country. Salomon just want to get money, but you know what account for. So accountability is other issue, my sister, in this country. So we institutions, we have very good institutions for address the problem. But hey, the operational is a big problem.
All right, let's bring in Amara. You don't listen to what Mr. Aliyu don't say because according to he say all the institution in a white elephant institution, they know they do their job. And now everybody, all the leaders them, they na the UN, na America, they submit papers them, they talk about disaster response, but coming back home, disaster then they ravage people and they lost their life. And the response, you believe say, now because of delay in the response, make them people and they been die in a shell. If society not been fail them for be able to save them. Let we look at the focus. Now, NDMA say they don't their work. Everybody don't pack in bag, you don't go, they all left that particular scene, they nothing not get for happen again until another disaster happen, you hear it from them.
Well, for answer your question, I want for also pinpoint on key issues where Mr. Davey talk about, where one are the insurance. Insurance now one of the alternative financing mechanisms. Now models them where they work into countries like Kenya and Ghana. And I make us still the stress on say we need a billing code, not only for develop the billing code, but a billing code will go fit for purpose. The billing code will go speak on what are the standards, the engineering standards, and the billing codes will get in terms of waiting you for able for satisfy before you go ahead and build it. But insurances now this part of the world, no, they really work. And that make we need institutions for step up the game, not only for talk. We need results. We are hungry. You don't understand. So now I make us still the stress on say insurance issues will be one of the pivotal discussions when we develop now billing codes for ensure say to every billing way they put up now this country for be insured. And the insurances for work, not only for go insurance, because don't they see multiple times people that they go insure their vehicle and they get accidents at the end of the day. The insurance not the able for work. So the insurance for able for work. You understand? So coming back to your question where you asked me about the global discussion, not only in New York, we don't see COP, people don't go COP in terms of the conference of parties. We don't develop with NDC document, we know the country blueprint document. The first NDC, I will say it clearly, say the country not do much. Like the first NDC and the second NDC, they shorter down this year. What I mean by the NDC now with nationally determined contribution. This is national determined contribution here. Now we blueprint documents because the convention will ask we. What is now a mechanism? Although we're not a least developed country, you understand? We'll get issues, we'll not get the financial capacity much, we'll not get the technicality around, we'll not get the requisite investment in terms of technological transfer. So we are a least developed country. So then can require we follow, we show we ambition in terms of putting our mitigation strategy and adaptation strategy. Because the issue is already there. But they want to see how the country so far were able to show we ambition through that blueprint document what they submit to the convention. And the second NDC they shut down this year with so much ambition. So much ambition, say we do the XYZ, and we even cost the NDC document to close to $2.6 billion, which is unrealistic. You understand? So this is the issues where Mr. Ali they talk about systemic failure. Sometimes we do things that are not realistic. Then for make we even for implementing for show results. I will sit down here and tell you that the country where go COP last year, where the COP we look at the global stock tick, there was no data to show. You understand? Of how far we don't go for the NDC, what we don't achieve, what are the bottlenecks, you understand? Because based on their issues there, and I will go for look at the challenges that we'll get and put for solutions where we'll not go make the same mistake we'll continue to make. By February, they expect the country back for develop the third generation of the NDC. And now the convention is stressing we need to get an evidence base of NDC. Now, what do I mean by evidence base? We need to get data. Let's say, for example, if you tell me say the greenhouse gas emission where they emit now so the evidence need for me able for convince and say emission level now so and the kind of mechanism that we will put in place for ensure say we're able for reduce them or able for fight issues of disaster for the inside NDC document. The second NDC was done in a rush. It was not evidence based. You understand? And we don't want to make the same repetition occur back on this third generation of the NDC. So, to your question, now then they're in New York. Then we'll talk about the climate week. Then we'll talk about this week, mobilizing kind of resources and then kind of the country, but the response mechanism still challenge. So, I think this is a time for us to reflect. Back, see, despite we don't do half thing them, but we still get more things than they do for actually able to respond on time, and actually for ensure say we not for to continue for experience the same climatic shock. But I will tell you, if we continue what we call business as usual, then what I mean by the business as usual, this same trend here will get so. This same kind of mechanism will get so. This same kind of operation as standards that we will get as a country. If we continue business as usual, the disaster that will go for happen, the projections, they're really clear, say, a gap will be 10 times of what we don't experience. Now, the race is not even do it. We are going into October. And the projection don't declare now, nobody is talking about this. So we forget massive thunder and lightning in October. So what is our preparedness mechanism now say? We'll go able to respond on a timely basis. Make us not can't tell you say, oh, not get resources, government not give resources. No. We'll never follow on and follow foot. The responsibility of them are for ensure say they're able to find alternative financing. We'll go able they in equilibrium with their actions. Or at the same time, we'll come back and talk about the same thing, but disaster will still continue before.
Government really serious in terms of disaster prevention and response?
Yeah, I will say it's a government serious because we don't get institutions will not be there ever. We don't get ministries that will not be there ever. But again, is government serious about enforcement? Now, if you look at the Western Area Peninsula Forest Reserve, just as an example, from the Global Forest Watch, the past 5 years, don't tell we say we don't lost 33,000 hectares of the forest. The WFP report, don't tell we say we don't lost 12,000, or inside not at 3,000, 12,000 hectares of the Western area now we don't lost inside 5 years.
Well, the question for me don't be government really serious
but
in terms of the enforcement of the institution.
Now, they try for build the case for me, you try to understand who say the enforcement lapses don't they actually do. You look at the NPA Act, we say for the 1 mile radius in terms of the green belt, but the green belts don't shift 3 times, and will continue for loss. You understand? The areas there, they don't receive massive urbanization, construction activities. Even the dam, people go now closer to another dam day. As long as they continue for Brookstone Day, it's a go for undermine the integrity of the stability of the area then day. So the projection is very more clear. See, if we continue business as usual, we'll go for the experience what we call landslides, more flow, they would geological events. We'll go for the Israelite property. But we have loss. For ensure say people not for build areas that we're not supposed to build. If you also look at the mangrove, because we are a signatory to the Ramsar Convention, taken from the Skiasis River, the Sierra Leone River, the Yari River down to Bond, what we do with assessment, we come to realization say we don't lost 73,000 hectares of mangrove. And now we talk about alternative financing in issues of carbon market. If we not get the kind of mangroves there, we get how government will for money. So the areas there, we don't lose the area there, but we get a convention we tell us we need for protect the area there. You go now the Aberdeen Creek, the amount of mangroves that will be there for the past 5 years, they are no more there. So that they tell you say because of the level of encroachment, we don't move towards there. Now you see issues of outbreaks. You understand? Now they even talk about there's a discussion where they go on and where they look at climate change and health. They don't embark say most of their outbreaks here where they happen now because of the issues of climate change. So the encroachment, as long as we continue for encroaching to the areas there, then it's going to be challenging for one. For disaster prevention, biodiversity conservation, and the fight against climate change.
I wonder if Salone, especially the city, the capital city, Freetown, na slum, and the Freetown, Mr. Ali just say, na risk city. We all know they live here, we they under high risk, anything can happen. building and they collapse, people then they die.
And then they continue for collapse.
And then they continue for collapse. People they wonder what's really the leader they holding at New York now, now the UN General Assembly or the New York Climate Week. What's in then they go talk about Salon?
Well, they will say beautiful things about Australia.
Reflect back home.
But now before I start for talk, I tell you, a lot of talk about with national circumstance first. Of how currently we circumstance there. The reason why Mr. Aliu emphasized on this issue, say Freetown are a risk zone, and where I agree with her, topographically look at the structures of Freetown, not too much of hills. You understand? So if you get in hills here, hills once more there was forest. All the areas here be covered by what you call forest, but because of the population index where they rise every year, people they transfer, people they bill, which are not supposed for bill. If you look at the map back of American embassy, they see channels where they come up from that hill, where they empty himself inside Congo. But within that channels, because of we not get proper billing codes, we not get current regulations for ensure say then you know for bill who say no supposed for bill. People don't bill or don't block all the waterways. So the entries there will be there once upon a time within the areas there. Be the act also to call a retention. Despite of the amount of rainfall where they come, but the trees are able to reduce the speed in terms of the current of the water, where the water they come. Take the water they reach downtown here, and current go down less. But when we don't cut all the trees there within the areas there, we don't expose her to issues of climate shocks. As long as the rain continue for now water the in current, as long as they cause high current. If you meet up here on the way now, their houses that water don't go build within areas in there, it will weapon out. So if you look at the river channels, they're actually small. So how Freetown City Council and the current government for ensure say they're able to expand the waterways of the water there where they come. As long as we continue for go inside the forest here, one, as long as we don't expose the areas, the rocks are also exposed to what we call weathering. Now that make we go now regions, and that make we they talk about we not even get to study years. From the landslide assessment, we not even get current assessment for tell you what will happen 2017. Now we don't get a trauma. We need a seismograph for tell you about in terms of the waves that will occur will cause now issues because within a stable plateau. But if we continue to do business as usual, there's high tendency back here. There are issues of issues of landslide and the but we need to get a scientific or technical report for able to tell you what actually they happen and how we go able for adapt to the circumstance. Now the issues don't there, but we adaptive options for day in line with your actions there and ensure say we're able for response on the timely basis.
So as disaster happen, everybody go gather, do temporarily response, then after that we move on.
Now that make I tell you about the fire brigade approach. The fire brigade approach means where something happen, now that 10 days they will go there. But I don't give the incidences. Say the return period don't change now for every 2 years. So this year, before when the ACMA report come on, I mean that the one of the civil society will make noise about her. But people not even listen to me. Now I'm sitting down here and I tell you back say in October the thunder and lightning will go for happen. It's one day the two will go for happen. We know one day experience it. So what is our preparedness mechanism now before that disaster they have?
I bet Mr. Ali say one left foot on go offline. Viewers, in case you just tune in, they watch the breakfast show, and this morning we they look at delays in response, especially with disaster that can happen at Freetown. We get two vibrant civil society activists them in the studio where they work around issues that we get for do the environment and the climate change. Well, if you don't follow the conversation, it clear this morning say according to Mr. Aliu, it's a Freetown na a risk city. We all there they under risk, and according to waiting Amara in say, he believes say the response, the delay they wouldn't kidnap response make people let they die with disaster can happen, especially the one who they look at this morning. We get for do with the building we collapse na shell outside people they lost their life. We they continue the breakfast show. You say for the watch if you want to make your inputs to the program, send we message na the number +23274200545, or you can as well text we na the comment section at any of the platform where they watch with this morning.
All right, we will take we next material inside the program. The search team will continue for look for people. Then we fasten inside the building we collapse na shell new road this BNTM. Don't continue for clear the area and pull some poil property and other thing them. Alasanko Umar go work in the community and put this report together.
Monday, September 16 this year, one 7-story building been for done na Shell New Road, eastern parts na Freetown. Since that time, the plenty institution them don't they give support for rescue people them we been there inside the building. Tuesday, September 24 this year, Maramba Mines, gentle group of company and other one them been end operation after where they been reached na the ground floor of the 7-story building. Amadou Jallo, na the director of operation for Maramba Mines, will explain to Liberty Online TV how far they don't go with the work.
Yes, so family, of course, you know, say today, na the 9 days now, from all on this operation. I don't discover all the body then, according to the community, so they identify all, don't discover all the body then. We don't pull them. Now, na the dead comes when a slabs them, we then hang back on these neighboring houses, and we try for food. We operate with them to the 2 excavator and the 300 food. And now, them to get 1 excavator way down from there first. Then the one way left, they said unable to do it, able to do it. But we look at them, we need big excavator, so we call the MML, they send us a big excavator in a 340. So we can continue the job down here for demolish the balance, slabs there, and yes, so that we remove all them damage slabs and the way they're facing people then move.
So somebody watching now go on for no slab, don't reach to the down floor.
Yes, at the down floor we do it. We send the camera down there. And we try for level they all so that the hazard to reduce. The only hazard then we left kind of like that and all that. And they remove it. So maybe the owner will come with any technician then for let them remove the iron rod and they have up on the way and like that. Or waiting the affect the community. When I then slap the way and move where they hang back and then we don't try to move on.
The leading supervisor for National Emergency Medical Service, named Alusai Bundu Sanko, been talk on the number of people them where them being rescued from that same day where the building been for done to now where they don't reach to the ground floor.
We on records what we get as an emergency support team. A day with we own our own data, gather under we own domain in there with me. So if you want
yeah, so far more for know the data now.
So far, from the 16th on a Monday to date today when at the 24th of September 2024, we'll get over 23 people who will be transport under we domain.
Okay. So among them 23 people who are transport, how many of them they will survive and how many of them they will be don't die?
Well, the moment when we transport people them, most of them will be taken now vehicle and they get life. Yes, we will not be able to get the total amount at the hospital because we just go hand over to the facilities for further medication. But this later time now, the underway we receive, they are lifeless.
Okay.
Yes. Okay. So like I can just say approximately 7 survive.
Okay. Okay. So how far the work done they go now? Because today Tuesday, and plenty people want to know when they able for complete the job for fend people in.
Well, who they are as a medical team? The police, of course, the soldier, and the mining and workers and they don't they also say they complete this work either today or tomorrow.
Okay.
So, but I not get a confirmed source to them whether they complete the job today or tomorrow or Thursday. But we there, I said it when I said the job don't complete, then we go we different offices and back.
Okay. So for the sake of family they watch you now, then go out for no waiting be the support on be done the key as an emergency team.
Well, of course, everybody know that this country say National Emergency Medical Service on our names. Now a free organization where they give free services. We there for go take any victim where like go get belle, sick person where health no good again, able to nap, able to talk. As long as in the breathe, of course, we team they go there. I make we get call center, then distribute the numbers cut across the country. They get different numbers where people they call, relatives they call when they need help. When they go and then facility and then community then where they go carry those victims, those patients freely, of course, free of cost.
The National Disaster Agents end up for encourage the general public say they go ensure say people stop for bill na area them where they're not supposed for bill as they work na for CC and prevent disaster across the country. For Liberty Online TV, Al Hassan Kuma the report.
All right, welcome back. The program we still watch, the breakfast show, where they come to you live on Liberty Online Television. And as today we there so for discuss on the preparedness, response to disaster in the country. And we get two experts them at the studio where they are for come give you their own, their own inputs and also then take as CSOs them we don't look and discuss around issues we get for do with climate change in the country. Well, we still there with the gentlemen them at the studio. I come to you quick, Mr. Amara. As you don't get from Mr. Aliyu. As you know, you from Mr. Amara, I don't analyze a lot about waiting at some of the major causes them wiki little disaster in the country. But again, somebody they watch go and see NDMA are just an agency ready for respond to disaster. But you also get other key players them we mostly na them key allocates them line in to people we get for do with Ministry of Lands. Many a times like them people like be in a disaster prone areas. We talk to them would say we get legal documents for there. You understand? So as CSOs, how not only engage Ministry of Land for ensure say then give land to people na side them way then go there and we not go get any threat in terms of disaster.
Thank you very much. I can still continue for say this statement. Yeah, we dey live in a weak city. After the 1991 to 2000 rebel war we done in this country, it come with movement from rural to urbanization. Rural to urbanization movements don't contribute to so much needs that we not get the capacity as a country. So the ministry from the provinces to the city here, land management is a critical issue. One thing where not a driver behind the problem within our Ministry of Land is I want to get house for myself, my brother Salami want get, when I two self want get, everybody here want get house for himself. What in the behind that is a result of poor management, monitoring and enforcement of law in terms of how we rate house rent in this country. Everybody they charge how they want. Pambody, a bill and 2 rooms and parlor, I made they determine my price, would I add it. So this don't serve as a contributing factor. Say, no, I'm not going to pay that money, let me say go fend me your land. At the end, in my earlier statement, I mentioned, say, backdoor engagement. That is, anybody who gets more authority in the Ministry of Land, they use that authority for do what you want, for satisfy that in cousin, that in uncle, that in auntie, that in brother, for letting self get land. So at the end of the day, you they see that person will be done by that in land a day, he self get complete document, he not get complete conveyance. Yeah, if you not get the complete conveyance, what thing can be the problem? Go they go bill no more. As you the bill, we go they do the paper business. At the end of the day, paper not there, house don't turn up, there was no building code, there was no building permit, no nothing happened. Even inside that land day, was Ministry of Land able to go and watch at the land? No, because it not go through the right channel. That right officer will for take that responsibility for ensure say for go under that person for get and feel money for let go see if inside the builder structure they correct or not correct. If that person not give fair money, okay, I not get fair money, but I will give cigarette money, left and no more, log the go, the work small. That is the end. So this systemic failure, all the continue now, all the ministries, departments, and agencies in this country, they contribute to what they talk so. So at the end of the day, the Ministry of Lands, they continue for address, continue for fail for address, for do the right thing we for do. Ama mentioned about the land demarcations in this country, particularly in Freetown. Say this na the buffer zone. From the late Bob since he say in land demarcation say na ya how you call her? Na ya na the buffer zone. Green belt. Every year any minister will come in green belt they move. If this don't say na ya na the cutoff point, the other time we don't pull am, the other one self car they pull am, they shift am. And thank God some of we don't they see the enforcement of the current president HE retired Brigadier Julius Madebio. That report, that assessment what they don't do, that report we want to see the enforcement. That in the town hall meeting, he mentioned that anybody will don't go beyond the current green belt, the law for enforce. We are watching. With some of we don't get access to the report, we the reader. There are so much encroachment on the western area peninsular forests. Land management na zero. Can you imagine if I buy land to headman or councillor? Are they the rightful owners of land in this city? Are they the rightful people who want to engage for land issue? It's another discussion point. So land management issue is another different problem in this country where all they can contribute to the same disaster. And that is why I be always they say in avoiding disaster, we forget the mindset, we get the investment, we get the governance, get data, inclusion, and we nip the issue on the board, the target, the right issue by ensuring that we enforce the law. Law enforcement in this country is a bigger problem in terms of climate change and environmental management. We don't get all policies, but their enforcement is a critical issue. And until we begin enforce the laws the way we get, we will continue for envisage them problem here.
Mr. Ali, for the delay we don't see in terms of response on the side of the government, and now you as CSO with all the experience we get, and also you mentioned say Freetown are not safe because of you see and say yana disaster prone area. You understand? We make you say they decide now for migrate. Now, whose recommendation you want to make to Sierra Leoneans for ensure say they're safe during in season? Now that we know for rely again on the side of NDMA for ensure say they respond quickly in terms of disaster.
One critical document the way my brother Amara mentioned about, which is the nationally determined contributions. This now the document out of the 2015 Paris Agreement, which is COP21. Yeah. The Paris Agreement COP21, where the whole world they meet up now France, Paris. Then she don't make the agreement. That agreement we take them as a country, we count on Sierra Leone 2022, we domesticate and we say can go to Parliament approve and say we go follow that law they say for address disaster in this country. That document they did. Now out of that document we don't develop two documents what we call the INDC, the Independent National Determined Contributions, and this current one when at the NDC where they on now. This is the document where government gets. All the environmental institutions get where they directly how we for manage them problems here will get in this country across.
Yeah. A few of the messages then now they will come back to now follow we continue the conversation.
Okay.
We look at few messages then we don't come before somebody they come out from Roland Beresford, Ignatius George Stone. It is say the tremor that shook Kono has any investigation taking place as to its cause, or we are waiting for death tolls.
All right, me they take from the Facebook. The first one they look at, they come out from Victor Akomengot. They say we should look at the three when talking about disaster prevention, management and response. Engage, educate and enforce existing laws for the benefits of the communities.
All right, this way they come out from Nistik Duazak. They say, as a nation, we should try to improve our disaster response. We have made some progress on the response, but it needs more improvement. Secondly, we must be robust in putting mitigating measures to prevent such happenings.
Victor Mengot again from Facebook, they say, when you talk about you building, the point is that there is no facility management system to ensure timely repairs, health and safety, and cleanliness. Another building of note is the National Insurance Company that has been without a function lift for a year. Right, I think I'll go Landy.
All right, for the Mustafa Toure on Facebook, they say the government only has money for salaries and all these institutions created will not function because they lack financing. A disaster management agency should have all the sophisticated machinery to act whenever disaster strikes. Salon is yet to employ a good manager. Management is the problem of the country.
All right, the last one I go look at from Facebook, they come out from Edmond Magai. They say Muaf, Abadin, Wilberforce and Malama should be taken into account.
All right, from their messages, then they quickly, because of time, when they come back in our studio, as we still get Amara Salami Kanu, when I Executive Director for Environmental Forum for Action. We don't listen to messages them. We clearly show say even people themselves, one of the viewers that they are concerned about what's in the happen. And you just talk about, say, people need for brace up. October is coming, according to reports the way they're out there, and that the country get for experience thunder and lightning, serious one. So now to the authorities that were in charge, waiting maybe possible solutions.
Well, the possible solution, we need to be proactive enough. Assessments, I don't give series of assessment them from the ACMA reports, which was not looked into. The no technical report is serious. If you go to the ACMA report, shows say for experience well above normal of the amount of rainfall. We don't see the amount of rainfall we can this year. We will not ever experience it. That the territory is you get an unprecedented record of rainfall we can. And this year a return period. So we actions in terms of preparedness mechanism for be rigid, and we need for plan very, very well for ensure say if issues happen, we don't need for wait again pass to go now finance, we go for right finance before finance release body. So this is a call that we need a national disaster fund. It should be a standalone fund. If it is under the office of the president, it's still fine. But now we get a national disaster fund which money they particularly on disaster issues, because when disaster they happen, government they be distracted in terms of directions. Government get for respond. Now because we see 2017 waiting happen, all the focus on the resources now. Small money will get for focus on our disaster issues. So Lord gets that standalone fund. At least go help we follow response faster, because now for now you go able the DG go able write or sign say made and take down resources there for made for the restore. Then investments, like what me brother they talk about, we need the requisite investment. We're going to fit for purpose. Technological transfer. Now we make mention of cranes. So they know if you get crane, you understand? Then go for weights back till and go to my prime mines or Sora router for my router, come all the way for me then call them crane. And so the requisite investments, they need cranes them, they need for ensure say then get the young cranes them, then get the young operator, then get a whole mechanical engineering unit specifically where they for take renewables and other things. We don't need for rely on the private sector, although inclusivity in terms of fighting issues of disaster is fine. Then also in terms of predictability, we still get challenged in predictability. We not get a national model we designed specifically for Sierra Leone. We still rely on Metro France, the more model than they were not designed for here. And then more than they needed to give exact prediction. You understand? They go tell you say 4 o'clock rain they can't today, but they see say rain not they come. Then go tell you say today rain get for council so you don't experience that when rain they even car. This year they tell you say they get deficit in the amount of rainfall, but the kind rain we may see we never experience anything. So now we invest in terms of the tool we go fit for purpose. Allow ensure say we get the right investment for also for response to issue of disaster. Then lastly, one text I make mention of say we'll not even get a story yet for tell we about the landslide will happen. That should be the responsibility of NDMA. Now that make I always say, Lord will get the people, the right people at the right place, the technical people we know the job. Lord take politics out of this, because it's about saving lives. Right now, issues that they happen, the geological event that they happen, will not even get a report. Will not even get a seismograph, because when issues of that happen, the seismograph will tell you about the waves. It will tell you about the seismic waves in terms of the S waves and the P waves, so for able to tell you how much that atom body will call. Now we don't experience Bakeni, we don't experience as long as blasting activities, mining activities, they occur in that place, the stability of the rocks that they continue for week, and areas then get for experience landslides in that area that day. And most of the cultural drive now they talk about the Fikri Salon program where people they embark on. Even Totomabo, as we speak, so they experience the massive flooding. So investment they don't do in that place because we need to take issues of disaster serious. All the economic drive they would try for push go be undermined by issues of climate shock. So we need to be serious as a country. We need to be proactive as a country in ensuring that we're able to respond well with a technical view and take the politics out of the issues, because this is very serious. It's about saving lives and properties.
All right. Many thanks. I'm Salami. Can we join me in the studio quickly? Mr. David Joseph Aliyu. Now, as we don't get in conversation, there is so time without numbers. Waiting at the immediate things them where the disaster management agency need for put in place as preparedness for move and respond to any other future disaster.
Domestic resource mobilization, we not just rely on donor funding, we for get a strategy in country how for raise money for we get them. Secondly, we get the right equipment that like I mentioned. For instance, we equipment then day like that the way that thing happen. Then get equipment the way then they go opinion I go tell you say we say life day, we say life not day. Yeah, then for able get down the equipment and we will push we to that. Secondly, also you see all this what they discuss the boil around health security. And what will they put for health security? So the Ministry of Health, now they are talking about One Health. The One Health, they tell you about animal, environment, and human health. Yeah, so all this now one issue. How we for put money for ensuring we get an health security standby funding. Way for day for ensuring we don't advocate through the Ministry of Health, we don't get NPHA, the National Public Health Agency. Now they all go under. When disaster happen, not a one-man business. So domestic resource mobilization is critical among all what they do. We not for stop community education and engagement. You're not supposed for there engage the people, talk to them, tell them the reason why they're not for supposed for they not allow themselves for build the structure. In disaster preparedness, now the thing and then you for able nip the thing on the spot. If for the Ministry of Land for go see who side this person they build this house is supposed for be land. Look that landslide will happen early this year. And Boku people don't know about how na Moiba. I believe so. We see one heavy rain come inside August where they had to move. So how's for them will be only their local life not lost. So all inside the way that they look now, wait, in Apna, Stephen Street, look the houses the way they which protective business they get. Go Nairobi, you guys on side in Nairobi, they see all not green. You know they see the melts at zinc. But free to wait in Amna, so zinky they see. So these are all the issues. So community engagement and continuous policy enforcement, law enforcement. Let me enforce the law. Not say because this na me picking how for do instead they manage, let manage that. Where the problem can we all the two time.
All right. Many thanks, David Joseph Aliyu, Executive Director, Kant Salon, where you have joined we na the program this morning as a civil society activist who they work around issues of the environment and climate change. We don't get a very educative conversation. We just hope the authorities, the way they in charge, go listen to some of them things there. So we una civil society organization them. Don't they tell them for ensure say them put the right tools in place for respond fast to disaster so that we will prevent the plenty life them we don't they lost, especially this year in the season we will see several buildings then they collapse and reports they should say more disaster there ahead of we as a country. Well, you say for the watch the program, one for say plenty thank you for we join with this morning, and also you send your message. One for say many thanks to on our own contribution, and continue for watch Liberty Online Television as this now you only digital digital platform where they get correct information about different things them where they happen. Or they throughout the day to various programs and topics that they bring Cantona. Well, the breakfast show this morning, Princess Piasta and producer Musa Saukoma, Emmanuel Mane Campbell, and Dennis Kamara, and then give support to the production team for bringing the program Cantona. Mina Khadija Bangura, they say have a blessed day.
Amina Mohamed Kamara till then, for wishing all a good day. Goodbye.